Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another week of Mandown Mondays, the all-season edition. As you can see, we have another host today. My cousin Cam isn't with me, but we have our very own vice president, my boy Jalen. Jalen, yo, say what's up to the peoples, my man.
Hey, good to meet y'all. Jalen, co-founder, co-vice president as well. Good to meet y'all for my first interview.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Me and Jalen, we kind of share the vice president role. And yeah, today we have a very special guest. So as I said, this is week three. As you guys are seeing these, and if you're really taking the time out to go on the YouTube channel and watch the whole thing, yo, really reach out to us. We're looking to share new stories. We're gonna have multiple people sharing their stories every week leading up until fall semester. So really reach out to us. But anyways, without further ado, like I said, we got a very special guest, and my boy Jalen gonna go ahead and do the honors of introducing a brother to both of us. So you
All
got
right. This is my good brother Sam Lipscomb. Very active around campus and just in life as well. I heard you got a new internship with Centos this summer as well. If you want to speak about that a little bit.
Yeah, so what's up, everybody? My name's Sam Lipscomb III. I'm a fourth year marketing major at Hampton University from Seattle, Washington. This summer, I'm interning with Cintas in Maryland. I'm in Landover, Maryland, and I'm doing corporate sales for them. If you guys don't know what Cintas is, they're a service company, and so they provide many different services to different companies, really companies all across the world, like Starbucks, everything you see on a day-to-day use. So,
Yes, sir. That's good stuff, my boy. And again, congratulations on securing that internship. Um,
yes, sir.
it's not easy now, bro. Like I started my internship with State Farm, and it took me forever to be able to get an internship. Like just
Mhm.
going around, sharing the resume, different things. So it's not easy to get that and to see that you have an internship in DC for a major company, bro. I just want to applaud you for that, bro. Congratulations.
I appreciate that for real. Definitely.
Yeah, but yeah, just jumping right into the conversation though. Um, again, good brother to Jalen, good brother to me too. I had the pleasure of cutting his hair throughout the school year. And me and Sam have had a lot of really good conversations, and I'm very excited to have him on today, as we all are. But my first question for you is this, right? When you think about like mental health these days, there are some people who may not necessarily believe that males necessarily have to focus that much on mental health. Why do you feel like it's important for not just males but black men in general, especially students at a school like Hampton, to have like safe spaces like Mandown where they can focus on their mental health?
I feel like it's very important to have a safe space like Man Down. One thing women don't know is that like men have all these thoughts bottled up inside of them, and that they really don't know or have a clue how to express them or
Right.
what to do with those emotions. Like we have all these burdens we carry inside of us. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so we like the women in our lives, like we feel like if we talk about what we got going on, we're going to get shot down,
Right.
like
Right.
and the woman is not going to really understand what we're going through. So that's why we keep all the burdens inside of us. And so like having a safe space and an outlet like Man Down is helpful because it's a whole bunch of men that are going through the exact same thing as you, who don't really know how to communicate their emotions, who struggle with having an outlet. So
Mhm.
this is the outlet, and that's why this is really important. Something that I I I I saw on campus, and I wanted to be a part of. You know what I mean? So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Appreciate that. So
Yes,
my
sir.
I'm gonna build off of that. So like over the summer, you're a very busy guy. Like how do you take care of your mental health? What some things you do? How you suggest other brothers can as well?
Right.
um, I'm not gonna lie, like taking care of my mental health is something that I struggle with, and still something that like I'm trying to become better at doing. I've really just started to be in tune with my mental health and start like realizing like how I feel and embracing my emotions, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
so that's something that I still work on, I struggle with to this day. But by being better, like I said, I would just slow down, you know what I mean? Like don't always be in a rush and like actually sit with your emotions and
Mhm.
feel them, cry about them if you have to. But
Mhm.
like being in tune with your emotions, like that makes you more intelligent. You know what I mean? So I think that that's really important.
That's real. And you know what? I got a question like just off the top, because you make a great point in being at a school like Hampton where it's so fast paced. And this bro, when I tell y'all this brother busy, this brother's busy. Like he tried to book a cut with me. I'm like, look, let me show up because I know he got something to do right after. He going somewhere with the cut to go take care of some business. So
Yeah.
my question to you is this, right? Like with the fast pace and stuff, what was it that helped, like that made you realize that you're not the best at taking care of your mental health? Like I know we all have those moments where we kind of come to a realization. Like what was your moment?
Being in a relationship. I'm not gonna lie, my girlfriend definitely. Um,
Yeah,
when you actually like dealing with a woman on a day-to-day basis, you have to be able to communicate. You know, you have to be able to express yourself, and that was something that I struggled with. You know, something that I still struggle with, but I think she's really like the one person that's pushed me to, you know, work on it. So.
I can echo the same thing, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It's almost like they don't. It's like they, especially a good woman, she gonna really like make you like break down those walls to really explain what's going on. Cause if
Mm.
not, it's like, okay, wait a minute, like I've known you for how long? Like we spent so much time together. You got this going on. I'm supposed to be like your best friend, and you not sharing this with me. So we all been there, bro. Like I kind of I just had a talk with my girl like that about 2 days ago, bro. So it's our sisters. We appreciate y'all, yo, for real. Y'all really help us see the blueprint, and now we kind of trying to take this thing and run with it. So yeah, yeah.
All right, so kind of like to pivot back to what you said earlier about how we were saying like you're a leader on campus. How do you feel like the world often undervalues black men? How do you feel that you show your leadership and trust your own abilities?
Mm,
That's a great question.
word.
I feel like I trust my abilities, like because of the foundation that I have. My parents, they did a great job raising me, putting me in the best education possible since a young age. They put private, and for them, like that was a private Catholic school. So I went to a private Catholic school up until Hampton University. Um, and so knowing that I have a foundation and the way I was raised, that's kind of how like I go about carrying myself. Be can you follow up with the second part of that question though, Jalen? My fault.
So I asked like, how do you trust your own leadership abilities? Like, how do you show it? Like, you know, the world, everybody's kind of like always downplaying the black man's abilities to lead, to unite as well. So like,
Mhm.
what do you feel like you do the best at with
I
that?
mean, yeah, like I said, the foundation, but then also always having like a chip on your shoulder. You know, someone's always coming for your spot. Someone's always trying to outwork you. And me personally, I don't want to be outworked. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna put in that extra work to stay where I'm at, stay consistent,
right, right.
and that's really how I carry myself.
That's real. That's real. That's really real, bro. I mean, even just like just when it comes to being a leader, just knowing like, with leadership to whom much is given, much is required. So I could really resonate with that. Where it's like, when you stop working, you're no longer meeting those requirements. And then it's like the people just need to follow whoever is meeting the requirements. So, that's a real point. Um, yeah, and then also just moving on, like as we speak about discipline, right? Like what are some daily practices and daily habits that you what are some daily practices and daily habits that you take on to stay focused and to stay disciplined?
Mhm. Well, for one, like I try to create a schedule for myself, whether that's like I don't normally write stuff down in a journal. I should start doing that, but I just use my notes because it's convenient, you know, and just plan out what I got going on for the next day.
Hmm.
Um, Starting with making your bed, like that's the easiest one. Waking up in the morning and making your bed. I
Yeah.
think it's a book out there called it might be called Make Your Bed, but yeah, that's how I start my day every morning, of course. And something I've just gotten into, I've been staying consistent this whole summer is working out and running. You know, I've been trying to run at least 2 to 3 miles every day, and just staying consistent, staying in shape. You know, it's important taking care of your body what you consume, what you put into your body is important. Eating
Sure.
healthy foods and not always eating out, very important, and it keeps your mind healthy and keeps your mind sharper. So those are some things that I've been putting into my daily habits and my daily schedule. And like I say, making a schedule for myself is how stay on track of things.
Mm.
Great answer.
Now daily,
Shout
that I
out.
do it, yeah.
Indeed. Shout out who don't live chat too. Keeping
Yeah,
everybody.
shout out. Yeah, come
So to
on.
build off that though, like as a community, how you feel we can like make sure everybody like continues to stay disciplined and develop strong leadership abilities?
Pushing each other. Like Jalen said, we got a group chat and it's called what who don't lift?
We don't live.
Who don't lift? And we literally we send pictures of us lifting, working out, whatever we do every day. And if you got 2 days to miss. If you go the week without sending 2 days, like you kick from the group chat,
Mm.
pushing each other every day to do something and to get up and to better yourself is important, Like realistically, a lot of people got similar goals, like it's a lot of people's goals to work out every day, but it's hard to hold yourself accountable. And so that having brothers to hold you accountable, like that's the best way to do it.
That's what's up, bro. I like that whole who don't lift, bro. That's clever.
See?
That's clever. I like that. Jalen, you still in there?
Yeah, I started it.
Oh, all
I had that foundation
right.
keep me going because I know I've been missing some days. They keep me accountable.
Okay, that's what's up, bro. I like that. I like that, yo. Y'all boys doing a good thing with that for sure. For sure. Yeah, but I would say because me and Jalen, we definitely plan on talking about the challenges of balancing discipline and self-care. But as before I even get into that question, like what you feel like is the hardest part for you, like when it comes to being disciplined? Like, is it something that you felt like always came natural to you? Or, like I'm curious to know.
Nah, I mean, I would say laziness. Everybody gets lazy, There's those days where you waking up and the bed just feels so comfortable, Like let me get another hour. Um, but being lazy is how you stay content. And if you want to excel, you obviously got to do things that as hard as that sometimes, the stuff that you don't want to do.
Right.
And so whether that's getting up out of bed every morning, um, that's just the start. So that's how I stay disciplined. Yeah.
So that's what's
Yeah,
up, bro. So,
yeah, you gotta be hungry and ambitious for everything you do. So like back to how you said like you feel like you're not the best at your self-care, you trying to better it. How do you feel like you stay hungry and ambitious with that, trying to get better? That was some things you do.
Like I said, working out, that's just one way I've been starting to better myself and also watching what I eat and consume. Like this whole month of June, I'm on a water diet. So I'm only drinking water.
mm,
Obviously, I'm eating food, but no juices, alcohol, none of that, just straight water. Um, and I can already feel myself like obviously more hydrated and stuff like that, but I feel better. And so I think that is just little steps, step by step, I've been saying I want to start reading again. Haven't really gotten into it, but I think that's going to be the next improvement. I start reading and at least 30 minutes a day, just something to get it going, And
word.
that's how I started with running. Like I was did a mile a day and then just kept building on that. So
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Yeah, reading, bro. I'm telling you, that's something like people really sleep on that, man. Like they really do. Like once you get through like a book or two, then it's like when you could really see the benefits. But it really kind of takes it like in order for somebody to even get interested in reading, it's almost like we kind of have to learn how to like put the phone down for a minute. Cause like
right.
if we can't put our phone down, it's gonna be hard for us to like read.
Hmm.
That's something I noticed. Like I turn my phone screen like I take the colors out of the screen and it's like a filter. You could do that, and it like makes you less impulsive to pick your phone up. And then when I
Really.
did that, I noticed I could read more. So, yeah, bro, that's something that's big. I feel like all of us could really benefit from
Hmm.
it for
Yeah,
sure.
no, it's a lot of knowledge out there in books, definitely. Like that's where you gain the most knowledge. So
Right, right, absolutely, absolutely. Yup. So, just another question is, can you? Well, let's see. It looks like Jalen already. Well, Jalen, yeah, you could go ahead and ask him the closing question if you don't mind.
All right, well, so our closing question is like, what does healing look like for you right now? Like, how do you feel like you're healing, getting better day by day?
that's a good question. How do I feel like I'm healing every day? I feel like I'm healing by doing things like this and actually talking about how I feel. That's the first step. Talking about my emotions and talking about just communicating, opening up. It's hard for a lot of men to communicate. Just growing up, like naturally, girls talk on a basis. I think I seen something that like they say like on average 6 to 10,000 words, more words per day than males. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Right.
a big number,
Hmm.
just naturally. So being able to communicate is huge. And so for me, like healing is just taking the first steps to better yourself, you know.
Hmm.
Um that's really what healing is to me, because obviously to heal you have to better yourself. And
Right, right.
and so just taking those first steps is how I heal.
Mm.
Great answer.
That's powerful. That's powerful. And before we even really close it out, because I feel like you're a unique interview because a lot of freshmen coming into the school, they're gonna see Mandown, they're gonna see all these various organizations around campus. You're somebody who's, like I said, a high capacity leader on campus. Um, tell us a little bit about your path to finding yourself as a leader.
Hmm.
And then once you do that, I'll just follow up by asking you to give some advice to somebody who's just starting out in August and wants to find like from the very jump, like how should they approach it? But tell us about how you climb the ladder to become a leader on campus.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I could speak like in high school I was a leader. Like I definitely was a leader at my high school, but I was also a three-sport athlete. So, that was very time consuming. And when I got to Hampton, my freshman year, I didn't do much on campus. Like outside of classes and kicking it with the bros, I didn't do nothing. I wasn't involved in no organizations or none of that. And everybody says Hampton's what you make it, and that's what I kept hearing. That's what I kept hearing. I think SLP week came around. My big pushed me to do that. And I did the week, not really knowing what to expect, not even really like pressed to get into SLP, but just doing the week. And
Hmm.
I met a lot of people through that, like just the week in general, students and faculty. And that really was like, okay, like it opened so many eyes for me, because it's like, dang, like I kind of Hampton's cool, like obviously like fall semester as a freshman, you're in college for the first time, but it's still kind of boring, there's not really much to do. A lot of people want to transfer after fall semester, but once you start getting involved, like bro, the doors open, like the amount of doors that open is crazy. And so really like after SLP week, like that's when I was like, okay, like reaching out to people, because now like I met so many people just in one week that now I feel confident that I can reach out to them and ask them about this org and maybe apply to this org. And literally by sophomore year, I was in like 7, 8 orgs, you know, just over summer, like applying and stuff like that, getting e-board positions, just putting myself out there. And really, Hampton is what you make it. Like get involved, do something on campus. Don't just sit in the dorm all day, Like there's so many organizations to where whatever you want to do in life, there's something for you. Like whether that's for where you're from, like me being from the West Coast, like obviously there's not a lot of people from the West in Virginia.
Right.
So joining Westpac, like that's a small community, but it's a family. So like I said, organizations for literally anything on campus, like just get involved, really.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Well,
sir.
what's
Yes,
it
sir.
called though? That's actually a crazy question. Like, it's a great fact. Sam was the first person I ever reached out to on campus. Like, I just put up the
Bro.
text from like 2023. I remember I texted him like asking how can I get involved and all that.
Dang.
He
Wait,
was
where
in
was
I
high
that?
kind
That
he
was
was
of
in
in
high school, bro,
oh, he
and
was
yeah,
in
he
it's like
high
my senior
school?
year. I
How
took
you
that.
know Sam?
I
we
seen a
didn't.
TikTok. How
Yeah.
you doing? I seen a TikTok. I was like, he looked like he had a fun freshman year. I need to have a year like that. So I kind of texted him. He kind of like gave me the blueprint.
Uh, bro,
Nah,
look at that, bro. Look
full
at that. And
circle,
now
bro.
look, now you interviewing, bro.
Crazy.
You
Like,
feel me?
I
Yup.
like
But that's how Hampton works,
What you
though.
making?
It's like a family.
Literally.
It's really like a family.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, Jalen, you got anything else you want to ask him? Anything of that nature?
mm. Think I asked everything I wanted to ask. Like, have a great day. Make sure you check in today too. I got to see you in the chat.
Of course, I did this morning.
That
I did this morning. I was the
sound
first in
like
the
a
chat this
threat,
morning.
bro. Sound like he's threatening you right now.
Hey, receipts. I was
Glad
the
to
first
check
one
in.
in the chat this morning.
Yeah,
10 a.m.
fine. Okay, you got this running. All right, you good then. That's
Yeah,
all
all
I have
right,
for you.
I'm good.
All right. But hey, Sam,
All
we
right.
really appreciate you, bro, on behalf of Man Down on the board. I'm glad we got our other vice president here with us.
No, I appreciate
And
you guys for having me. Definitely.
yes, sir. And I just want to say, bro, like brother to brother, I cut your hair a few times. I really like your energy, and I feel like, you're doing a lot of big things on campus. You know what I'm saying? You carrying
Much
yourself in a
love.
way where it's not like, hey, look at me. I'm Sam. I'm doing all this stuff on campus. Nah, you just going about your business. You handling your business. You being consistent. Um, you know what I'm saying? You being respectful to the people that you come across, you speak to. And as a brother, I could really appreciate that. And all the conversations we had. You know what I'm saying? You always respect me and my business, and
Always.
that's a reflection of how you respect yourself, I feel like. So, I just want to echo those sentiments and just let all the youngins know this a good brother to really speak to. You see the things he doing on campus. And you know what I'm saying? He just good people's overall. So I just wanted to share that spill
No,
before.
that's love, bro. I appreciate it. Definitely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yup. But that'll be all. Yes, this has been another week of Man Down, the off season. Again, like I said to people who watch this whole thing, we appreciate it. Feel free to reach out. We want to hear y'all stories. So yeah, yep. Back at it again next week. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir.
Do some.